Now today, we are gonna be talking about guilty pleasure movies.
Oh yeah, okay, so what is a guilty pleasure movie?
Okay, guilty pleasure movies, we put down 4 criteria. Okay, the number 1 criteria are movies that you don't want other people to know that you actually watched them.
Yeah. The second one is a movie that you're basically only supposed to bring your girlfriend to go see.
Right, if you see it by yourself, that's kind of whack.
Yeah.
The third criteria is movies that most people think sucked, but you really liked.
Yeah. Like, you know, rating sites like Meteoric or
Rotten
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep.
Yeah, or just in general, like
in
your
general,
friends.
it's a bomb.
Yeah, exactly.
But you liked it.
Yeah, and generally, if it's just a good, bad movie, like you heard that term before, like there's tons of them out there. Like it's cheesy, but it's really fun to watch.
Yeah, like Compound Enter the Fist.
Yeah.
It's like the worst guilty pleasure movie ever.
So without any further ado, Mike, start us off. What is your number 5 guilty pleasure movie?
My number 5 guilty pleasure movie is Hot Shots.
Oh!
Part 1 and Part 2.
Dude.
Love that movie. Those 2 movies. Love that.
Dude, honestly,
Yeah.
those are good movies. Those are not guilty pleasures.
Dude.
Those are good movies.
Whenever I try to show them at
Yeah.
parties or gatherings, people are like, "Oh yeah, we don't want to watch that."
Oh, they don't know any better.
watch it.
I mean, we're talking about movies like what are some
Scary
of the-
movie.
Scary movie, yeah. Superheroes.
Not another teen
not-
movie.
okay.
So, but I think after the Hot Shots genre,
Yeah.
it started turning bad. Those spoofs start sucking.
Right, like if you remember back in the 80s, it was Airplane.
Loaded Weapon, Airplane.
Yeah.
The Leslie Nielsen movies, Naked
Yeah.
Gun. Those are all really good.
Right, all
And
really
then
good.
They started to suck. Like if you Scary Movie
Oh, yeah.
5 or something. Oh.
I think the reason they started sucking is definitely, you know, like we're both child of the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
So Hot Shots was an awesome movie because it's not just, they didn't just spoof all of those crazy 80s action movies, right? They threw in that one scene where they're eating absurd things off of each other. Like they started like flicking the olive from the belly button and they catch it.
Yeah. Honestly, those 2 movies were freaking awesome.
It's hilarious.
But nowadays, I try to show this to like our team of people and people that are a little younger than us and we're much younger than us.
They don't get it.
They don't get it. They're like,
Well, they don't get it because they haven't watched those other movies like dude, my friends who are younger, they have never watched Top Gun. That should be a
or
crime.
Rambo.
Or Rambo.
Rambo, they haven't seen it.
If you haven't seen those movies, you should be arrested. On the other hand, I cannot watch any spoof movie these days. I can't and I
do it
don't.
either. It's just nasty.
Right.
They're gross. They're
gross.
more like. Okay, Hot Shots was rated what, PG-13?
Yeah.
Nowadays, like these movies are rated R.
Yeah.
And they're gross.
Right. And part of the reason is because I haven't seen like all the crappy new movies out
Yeah.
there, so I don't know what reference.
Exactly.
All right, my number 5 is Spider-Man 3.
How is that a guilty pleasure?
Okay, because that was probably the worst, that was probably one of the worst superhero movies ever. Like I think the consensus of the public is like, it's terrible.
I liked it.
You liked it? Oh, okay.
It was okay.
All right, I say it's a guilty pleasure because I love the first and the second one, and the consensus is the first and the second one. We're talking about the original
Yeah,
one, right?
sure.
The second one shattered like 1 million box office records. It was great.
Yeah.
But when the third one came out, every one of my friends and the whole public, I'm surprised it even got like a 50-something on Rotten Tomatoes. Like it probably should have gotten like a 20-something. But dude, I really, really liked it. I liked the fact that, well, first of all, everybody was waiting to see this because it had the infamous Venom costume in there. Tobey Maguire does this stupid, this is why my friends hate it. He does this stupid dance, like, you know, like where he's like,
He's happy walking down the street.
yeah, and he's like, you know, he's like, yeah, I'm Tobey Maguire, yeah. And I'm like, that's funny, I like that, you know?
I don't remember much about that movie. I didn't remember hating it.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is would you watch it again?
I don't watch most things again.
Okay, I would definitely watch it again.
Okay, let's move on to number 4. My number 4 guilty pleasure movie is Battleship.
Oh, that's definitely a guilty pleasure movie.
I love that movie.
That movie
I
sucks.
loved it.
Dude, even I don't like that
Ooh,
movie.
I love that movie.
Oh my gosh.
What's not to love? Brooklyn Decker, love it. Battleships, love it. Aliens fighting battleships, love it. I loved it.
It's famous because it's a popular
Yeah,
game
yes.
we played when we were like 10.
Sure.
Right? It's like C5.
Yeah. they made a whole movie based on a game. Okay?
Right.
There's no books or comics before that. Okay, but what I really liked about it was, okay, cool. You got Brooklyn Decker, who is just put her in any movie, it just goes up by like a star.
I have to say, she can actually act.
She can act. She looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the strategy part. You know, at the end, he figures out that they feed the alien, and at the end, when they use the old naval ship, that's like goosebumpish, man.
All right.
That's like awesome.
I give
it's
you
like
that.
all the old soldiers are coming on board. The guy, and they're like, we still have a battleship. It's so cool.
All right, I'll give you that one. Okay, my number 4, it's actually two Sandra Bullock movies, and I lumped them together because it's basically the same, like similar movie. Oh, yeah. 2 Weeks Notice and The Proposal.
Yeah, they're okay. I love all rom-coms.
I know you do, and this is why it's my guilty pleasure, because those 2 rom-coms kind of sucked. All right, it's just kind of like ha ha ha, like you know, in the last rom-com thing we did, I liked to see character development.
Sure,
I mean, I had this whole spiel about.
Yeah.
Okay, and this one didn't fit those, but that's why I like.
They were sucky rom-coms.
Yeah, I have to say, like last week, I took my car in to get serviced. Okay, 2 Weeks Notice with Sandra Bullock and Hugh Grant shows up on the TV.
Sure.
And I stayed and watched, and I even forgot they called my name, and I was like, yeah, oh, Sandra Bullock, she's so cute, and kind of like, and Hugh Grant's got his quirkiness, and I just realized, man, I like that movie, but it kind of sucks.
Yeah, they're not great movies.
Yeah, but they're definitely, for me, they're rewatchable, and also The Proposal, I've definitely watched it more than once. That's the one with Ryan Reynolds and her. She's the boss.
Yep.
They travel to Alaska. I
She
love
needs a
it.
Citizenship. Blah, blah, blah.
And what I like about it is it's basically any of those movies. What makes it good is it has to have kind of a funny plot, but also the chemistry between the 2 characters.
I don't love Sandra Bullock in any romantic comedies purely because I don't think she's that attractive.
See, this is what for you to like the movie, like you said before.
I need to like how the female and the male lead looks. I need to think they're attractive.
I don't have to have that.
This is really shameful. I'm so sorry, okay? Bring it on.
Dude, I have to agree with that. That's not on my list, but dude, that's an awesome movie.
Okay.
Dude,
this is what I love
the
about
first
it.
one, because all the other ones sucked.
I watched all of them.
Okay, that's going a little far.
I watched
that's going a little
all
far.
of them. All of them. I love the cheerleading dance routines. I love it. It even got me. I even started like YouTubing like cheerleading competitions because I'm like, whoa. Those,
I've done that too.
Those are really nifty dances and the routines they're doing. I want to see more.
I've done that too because I wanted to know how real that was, and that's pretty real.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, I'm friends with one of my friends. She's like 19, so she posted, "Brr, it's cold in here," and I replied, there must be some turtles in the atmosphere. She's like, how do you know that?
Dude, how do you not know that? How do you not know that?
Oh my God,
dude,
I love that movie.
That movie, I'm sorry, like, you know how nowadays they have movies like Step Up? I'm sorry, Bring It On was like the defining one of the 90s, and I think that gave birth to a lot of movies from then on.
Can I also say, that's the first movie I ever seen Kirsten Dunst that I was like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. As a cheerleader.
Yeah, she's hot.
She's hot. I kind of fell in love with her a little bit watching that movie. I'm like, yeah, she's pretty good.
What I liked about that movie is they didn't just focus on Kirsten Dunst. They were 2 different schools, you know?
Yes,
and,
right.
And there was some good character development, not just on her end, but also the other end.
It's basically West Side Story retold.
Yes, exactly. Okay, my number 3 is Mean Girls.
I never seen it.
Oh my! You gotta watch Mean Girls, bro. I've watched that movie several times. You know what it's about, right?
I know what it's about, yeah.
Yeah. I would have never watched that movie if I wasn't like head over heels in love with Lindsay Lohan back in that day.
You were?
I was like a teenager.
That's crazy.
I
thought you were gonna say Rachel McAdams. That would have made more sense to me.
No, Lindsay Lohan in that movie, I thought she was like the most beautiful girl in the world. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so hot.
She's beautiful.
She's so
and then
hot.
now you account for all the insanity.
Yeah,
it's less beautiful.
Not anymore, but to me, that was at the height of her hotness. And I was younger. I love the story. It's about her, moving to a new area, making new friends, because I had to move a lot when I was a kid, so I definitely resonated with that.
Okay, I'll go check it out. Okay, so for my second guilty pleasure movie, I have a movie that none of you, or at least a lot of you, probably never heard of.
Okay.
Okay, it's got some very, very famous actors in there, but
Okay.
not not many people know of it.
Why don't you say
It's
the
called-
actors? Why don't you say the actors and see if
Okay.
I can guess it?
It's got Mark Wahlberg, Luther Evan Phillips, and Christina Applegate.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I remember. But there's some other notable actors in there too. Okay, the movie is called The Big Hit.
I heard of it.
It is the best, funniest movie. Oh my god, so
I gotta watch.
hilarious.
Alright, I'll watch that movie and you watch Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Because you talked about that movie a lot.
I
and
talk
never
about
seen
about this movie wherever I go.
Okay.
And me and my roommate, actually, back in the days of DVDs or VHSs, whatever, we actually combined budgets and we bought a copy. And because we watch it almost every weekend. Okay, it is basically it's about Mark Wahlberg, who's an assassin, a hitman, and it's a comedy action movie. It's not perverted or anything. There's
Right.
no like nudity in there. It's just a lot of killing.
Right.
It's not even gross killing. It's just like okay, whatever. It's rated R, but it's really nothing too bad in there.
Right.
And it's just about him as a hitman, but he has like issues. He has like psychological issues. He's kind of like a wuss. He gets picked on. It is just one of the funniest action movies I've ever seen in my life. So
Okay.
you guys do yourself a favor, go watch this movie.
My number 2 is basically almost any 90s Nick Cage action flick. Okay, so basically Face Off,
Was good.
The Rock,
Was good.
Con Air,
Was good.
and in 2000 he made Gone in 60 Seconds.
Was good.
No. Me and you think they're good. Those are
in
the
general, people thought they were good.
Those are the Con Air is probably considered one of the best bad movies.
I love Con Air.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
love
don't
it
think
too.
it's a bad movie.
No.
I think it's a great movie.
Okay, we can ask the viewers, but The Rock, Face Off,
The
and
Rock's
Con
one
Air.
of the best movies ever.
I love The Rock,
But most people thought it was one of the great movies. Well, not
No.
greatest, but most people loved that movie.
Okay, now that you look back on it, Face Off, The Rock.
Face Off was freaking awesome.
It was awesome.
But most people thought it was awesome.
No, bro.
Come on.
Listen, people don't think those movies are awesome. They think they're
Okay.
cheesy. They think they're outdated.
Let me know if you agree with me.
Yeah.
Did you think all those movies were awesome? I think a lot of people would agree with me.
I think in our generation, we think those are awesome.
Yeah.
But this is my point. Today, in 2014, when you look back on those movies, most people would think they're crap. You cannot say that is not a cheesy movie.
It's awesome.
No. It's put the awesome aside.
I don't think it's cheesy. I think it's well made.
Dude, it's freaking cheesy.
He has a southern accent.
They got one
bad southern accent. So
bad
what?
southern
It's
accent.
good.
But that's what I mean. This is why I love the movie. This is why you love the movie. But just to put it in context, that's why most people think it's ridiculous. Okay, out of those 3, which one's your favorite? Con Air.
Definitely The Rock.
The
I could
Rock.
watch The Rock almost every single weekend because
Dude.
I loved it. My number 1 guilty pleasure movie. I'm so ashamed. Please don't think less of me. High School Musical is my number 1 guilty pleasure movie. Here's how bad it is. I have
bad.
every single High School Musical song on my phone. I know how to sing both the girl and guy parts for most of those songs. I have been to a cinema event with the High School Musical sing-along. Yeah, I've done it. And I can watch those movies anytime because I think they're awesome. Wow.
Not only have I never watched one of those movies, I will never watch one of those movies. I don't care for musical movies. Like, I like musicals,
But
I
they're
don't
so catchy. I was in my whole like, hey, a love story, happily ever after. I
man.
like their love is so pure. It beats all the obstacles. But I
when-
can still
when-
watch it even today.
When did it come out?
I don't know, a long time ago.
I was never interested in High School Musical because 1, I don't like Zac Efron. 2, I don't like Vanessa Hudgens. So therefore, that's half the thing right there. My number 1, I am also very, very embarrassed to say this.
Okay, what is it?
The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie.
They made a movie?
Bro, it's Morphin time! They made a lot of movies with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. First of all, I was a huge, like you were a huge High School Musical fan.
I was a fan of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers when they first came on.
Yeah, me too.
And then I stopped watching after that.
Right. This movie was basically, I was only a Power Rangers fan for the original cast in America, right?
Before you go further,
Okay.
can I just point out how racist the show is. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just point that out?
We're talking about the first season.
The first season.
Okay.
The Black Ranger was black. The Yellow Ranger was
Yellow.
Asian.
The Pink Ranger was like the all-American girl.
Yeah. The Red Ranger's the guy.
The guy, and then the Blue Ranger was the nerdy dude.
Yeah.
And then they had Tommy, the Green Ranger, then the White Ranger.
Yeah.
First of all, I watched that movie in the theaters. In the theaters. All my friends made fun of me for watching Power Rangers in general. I freaking love Power Rangers. Okay. That theme song, like the Bring It On theme song, I'll never forget. And it's like, uh-oh, we're in trouble. Something's come along and burst our bubble. It was like, oh man, I love that movie. I can watch it anytime because of the memory. I'm basically purely on sentimental memory from that period. Number one guilty pleasure. I mean, no doubt, that's a horrible movie.
That definitely fits into your category of nobody else watched it.
And I think at the time, I was embarrassed to say, I think I was probably 17 or 18. And like I took my downstairs neighbors who was like 12 and 14 at the time.
Yeah, that's a good excuse. Bring them. Yeah, guys, and we also have some honorable mentions that didn't make the list, so we'll briefly go over them. So my honorable mention, one of my honorable mentions, I have two, is The Last Action Hero.
Okay, I would say that's a pretty enjoyable movie. I mean, it's really cheesy.
I like it.
Yeah.
My other guilty pleasure honorable mention is a movie that none of you have heard of. It's a movie starring Neve Campbell and Matthew Perry. It's called 3 to Tango, also Oliver Pratt. This was filmed like a long time ago, and it was about Matthew Perry, who everyone in the movie thought was gay, but he wasn't gay. And so Neve Campbell was the love interest, and she thought he was gay, so he's not. So then, like, you know, obviously this whole romantic comedy love thing happens.
How did Oliver Platt fit into that?
Oliver Pratt was Matthew Perry's business partner, and he was gay. Matthew Perry was a single. They all thought he was a single gay man, but he wasn't. And he was in love with Neve Campbell.
Okay, I've got two as well. One of them is Morning Glory.
The Vietnam thing?
No. It's the one with Rachel McAdams, Harrison Ford.
I like that movie, dude. That was a good movie,
Bro, no.
That was when the reviews came out, it was glowing reviews.
At the time, my then girlfriend I brought to see.
Yeah, that was not a chick flick. That's
a chick
good movie.
You guys gotta let us know. Cruel Intentions. That almost made it to number 5.
I never. Yeah, that was with Neve Campbell as well.
No, that was Selma Blair. You know what? I'm gonna make that my number 5. That's my number 5 guilty pleasure.
Can't keep changing your list.
I'm changing it right now. Done deal. That's my number 5. Cruel Intentions has Ryan Phillippe, Reese Witherspoon, and I think they actually might have met on that set, and that's when they started dating and they became an item. Man, that movie is such a guilty pleasure because it's just ridiculous. It's a ridiculous premise. You know, you got Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yes.
Buffy.
Who is beautiful.
Who's hot in that movie. Hot, and I saw that one in the movie theater too. Basically, you know, she and her stepbrother, Sebastian, played by Ryan Phillippe, they had a bet going to see if he could seduce Reese Witherspoon, who was a virgin. But they had this weird sibling attraction. They're so they're not related by blood, and they wanted each other. I mean, it was like, it might even been based off of like a famous book. I don't know, but anyways, that movie was cheesy. It was hilarious.
So guys, let us know if you agree with us on my list or
my
Dan's
list. Guys, let us know in the comments below what your guilty pleasure movies are.
Click the subscribe button below, and we'll see you again next time.
Later.
See ya.